Okay guys, today we're going to do another number talk, and we're going to be talking about ink blot fractions. Now, many of you already know what this is, so remember on our number talks, whenever we're thinking, we're going to put a fist on our chest. When we have an answer, you're going to put your thumb up. When you have your answer, you're going to start looking for different solutions. So every solution you get, you're going to put a finger out. So if you have one solution, maybe you have two, maybe you have three, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's get right into it. So, oh no! Someone spilled ink all over our fractions. Help me figure out what part of the fraction is missing. This fraction is supposed to represent 1 2/3. So here's our ink blot. What is represented here and what is missing from the fraction that is under the ink blot? So remember, whenever you're thinking, we're going to put a fist on our chest. When you have an answer, put your thumb up and then go ahead and find your multiple solutions. Everybody's thinking? Okay, we got a few people with answers. All right. Wes, can you tell us what your answer is?
1/3.
1/3. How'd you find 1/3?
It's because it's missing.
Can you explain how you know it's missing?
Because on the picture it's 1, and then the other one's 1/3, and it needs one more third to make it 2/3.
Okay, so you're saying this is 1 and this is 1/3? So it's missing another third to make 2/3?
Yes.
All right, did anybody get a different answer or a different solution? All right, let's go to the next fraction. All right, so in this one, we are supposed to represent 7/4. So we have our ink blot and we have this fraction right here. So what part of 7/4 is missing that's under the ink blot? Remember, when you're thinking, fist, and then we got an answer, thumb, and then try to find multiple solutions. All right. All right, who has an answer? Okay, Amber, what did you get?
I got 5.
5? How'd you get 5?
Because I need 7 and there's only 2. So 7 minus 2 means I need 5.
Oh, okay. So you're saying these two are one whole each?
No, just one of each, 2 parts of that one circle.
So you're saying 1, 2, and then you need...
And 2 out of the 4 are right there.
Okay, so 2 out of the 4. So you need 5, and out of how many to get?
4.
So 2 plus
5
is?
7.
So 7.
4.
So
I need-
7/4, right?
So I need 5/4 to get the 7/4.
Okay, so did anybody else get a different answer besides 5/4? Is there another way we can look at 5/4? What is 5/4 equal to?
Is there a hole there? Is there a whole circle?
I don't know, you tell me. Is there a hole in 5/4?
Well, if 5's bigger than 4, then there has to be a whole circle.
Okay, so what's another way to say 5/4? Does anybody else want to answer? What's another way to say 5/4?
1 1/4.
1 1/4. Now, what does a quarter stand for?
25 cents.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so 25 cents is what part of a dollar?
1/4.
1/4.
There we go. So another way to say 5/4 is?
1 1/4.
There we go. Moving on to the next fraction. All right. So this fraction is supposed to represent 3 1/3. Whenever you're thinking, we're gonna have a fist on our chest. When we get those answers, you're gonna have a thumb and then multiple solutions. What is one way we can start by finding this? What is one of the first steps we can do?
Add up all the dots.
Add these all up? So let's go ahead and add these all up. What is this?
1 1/3.
1/3.
And then, so add them all up. We're gonna go 1 1 1/3.
1/3.
What is 1/3 plus 1/3?
2/3.
Okay, so we have 1 2/3. So what are we missing from 1 2/3 to get us to 3 1/3? Does anybody have a way we can start figuring this out?
How do we get another hole? Because there's 3 holes. There's supposed to be 3 holes.
So we have a third here, so if we want 3 holes, what if we add a third here?
Then we'll have another hole.
We have to add 2/3, so we're gonna add a third here. We can do this. That's another third, so this is now 2/3, and we have to make it 3/3 to get a hole. So let's do this. And that is now,
1 or 2 holes.
2.
all right, so we need 3, so what are we gonna do this one?
Add 2/3.
Add 2/3. Good. So okay, now we have how many?
3 holes.
So what do we need to add to 3 holes to get 3 1/3?
1/3.
1/3. So 1/3 plus those 2 and these 2 is 2 holes? Let's see, let's add 1/3. So let's pretend like this isn't here. We're gonna add a third here. So we're gonna add up all the red parts. How many red parts do we have?
5.
5.
1/3.
5/3. There we go. Okay. Let's move on to the last fraction.
So what was the answer?
5/3.
1 2/3.
5/3 or 1 1/3. 1 2/3. Oops. I'm gonna have to edit this out of my video because this is making me look dumb.
No.
Yep. This fraction is supposed to represent 2. So what can we add to this to get to 2?
We can color in the rest of that one circle. So that would be 1 2 3 4 5 out of 8 parts, right?
Yeah, so we got 1 2 3 4 5. And then how many more do we need to make a whole nother hole?
8.
8. So how many is in here?
5.
Plus,
8. No, 8.
so 5 plus 8. So what does that get you?
13.
13 eighths? Okay, what's another way to say 13 eighths?
1